Welcome to Two Humans Talking, the podcast that discusses the challenges of staying healthy in this modern, fast-paced world. I'm Tiffany Sims, your weight loss and high performance coach.
And I'm Chelsea Scroggins, your yoga teacher and motivational speaker. Let's get to talking. Here we go.
And I don't know if you can relate to this, because you are a little younger than I am, but here in the second half of 38, almost 39, my body and my mobility is so different. Like, it was like someone just went up to the wall and flipped a switch, and my body aches and moves in ways that it has never before. And I was thinking about it because I was like, last year I think it's been close to 16 months now. I injured my hip and I couldn't walk for like 3 weeks without. And I lost a lot of strength. I lost a lot of mobility. And even though I have been rehabbing it and like really focusing on foundational movements to re-strengthen and bring my body back into alignment, like I still wake up with pain in my hip. Yeah. And I have to I'm at the age now where it's like, I have to warm up before I get out of bed.
I love that.
But
I hate it, but I love that. It's funny. Okay, so I'm noticing it now at 35 that my body is not what it used to. Like you just start to notice little things like you're saying. And but yeah, that's important to do that. And I think that the funny thing is we should have been doing that at age 20, but we're like, nah, we're good. But then your body makes you do it as you age.
And so I was thinking about it and I was like, it's so taboo, because I'm 38, I'm not old, but I'm not young. And it's I feel like the people in my age group, I feel like there's 3 camps. And tell me what you think about this, because this is what I was thinking about on my walk this morning with Lexi. I feel like we have 3 camps, especially in my age group of this late 30s, early to mid 40s with the thought of I'm not old, but I'm not young either. And so it's realizing that old people weren't lying and that this is real, this really happens. And so then it's this is the way it is. What does it matter? And they just go deeper into unhealthy habits.
Amen.
Or they decide this isn't happening to me. And they go ham in the opposite direction. And then I feel like there's a very small group where I fall, where it's okay, I recognize that I'm no longer 18, but I'm not 90 and it's not time to give up. I have a whole lot of life to live. So how do I adjust myself so that I'm still mobile, still active, still feeling great within the body that I have, in respecting this stage without giving up or going too extreme.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that my age group is talking about it, because it's no one wants to talk about the aches and pains. And if you do, it starts that that peanut gallery is oh, you just wait, or oh my God, I know, what does it matter? And it's I don't want that either.
Well, and what's really sad is the younger crowd now is starting to feel like what the 40-year-olds are feeling like, because they've been sitting their whole life. Where we grew up and it was go play outside. We didn't have this technology to keep us occupied. Your mom was go outside. You're driving me nuts, go play. And so we had more mobility, I feel than the 20-year-olds and 24-year-olds do, because they've literally been sitting their whole life staring at a screen. And I guarantee the new generation, the little 2-year-olds now, I mean, they're so young.
Is
they're
that
on the
true?
screen.
Is that true? Are your younger generations having more body pain earlier in life?
For sure. I mean, you're noticing it at the chiropractic office, and they're coming in and even at my yoga classes. Okay. When the younger students come in, they're talking about ailments that my 90-year-old students are talking about. And I'm not even joking. And then you're wow, the young person has the same ailment as the 9-year-old. a 90-year-old. The 9-year-old has the same element as the 90-year-old. And you're like, holy cow. And yeah, it is very true. I mean, and then when they do x-rays at the chiropractic office, you're like, oh my God, they're already starting having degeneration in their necks and stuff from that constant, like there's no movement anymore. It's just down. It's like everybody's just looking down at a screen. Or they're also like having the kyphosis because they're constantly like this, like constantly down on a gaming. So it is very true. I didn't look up no like studies, but from what I've
No,
been
I was
seeing,
asking because I know that between yoga
so
and the
true.
chiropractic probably had insights, and so I just wanted you to talk more about it.
It's so true. No, it's true. And it's sad. Honestly, it's very sad. And then you think also another thing is like, I feel like the older we get, the more anxious we kind of get a little bit, but then also you release fear a little bit easier. You're not so worried about what others are thinking of you, but you start to worry about, what if I fall and hurt my hip? Or like, oh my gosh, is this the last time that I'm going to wake up? Like you start to think more. I know it's crazy, but that's what you
No,
start to
that's
think as the
reality.
older you get,
That's
right?
real.
But the younger ones, they're so anxious, like even to fill out a paperwork, like they're shaking. And I'm like, whoa. And that's because this is not, it's sad. And I don't say like, whoa.
It's not very nice being funny, but it wasn't actually funny.
It wasn't actually, but the thing is, because you're just like noticing it, or I'm noticing it, and I don't say like, well, you're shaking. I'm just like, I say like calming things, like, oh, you're doing wonderful. Like, I'm so proud of you for showing up today. Like, I just say little things like that, and it brings them back down to like, wow.
Just a joke that there's probably anxiety because they're not used to handwriting things.
That maybe that's it too. And then I feel like the people interaction, I swear to God, I feel like the people interaction is like, they're not used to that. They've been in their own bubble of like just being on the screen and like hiding behind a filter, hiding behind the social media, and like not ever having to really speak or talk to people face to face. I mean, that's huge, and it can be very scary.
So I'm a high school field hockey coach at the high school up the road for me. And I know that, I mean, my mom did a lot for us, but I know that my high schoolers, there's a lot of things that I knew needed to know how to do and things like that, because like my mom expected that of me. And I've noticed that with my current high schoolers, their parents do a whole lot more for them, and they don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know that I knew my social security number in high school, but like I knew if someone asked me what my social was, it wasn't my like Instagram. But there's a lot of things that they don't have responsibility of yet. And so I'm sure, like, do you remember being 20 and like calling your mom for, maybe not, I don't know about your situation. I know for me, I called my mom. I'd be like, oh, I'm standing here at the doctor's office. What do I write for this? Like, becoming an adult is like stressful.
That's very true. I
think
was younger than that. I remember being 17 and my mom was like, call them yourself. Like I was the third one. She had it. She's like, done. Like, you should have figured this out. And so I remember picking up the phone for the first time off the receiver, because we didn't all have cell phones then, and like shaking a little bit and like, yeah, and like stuttering through the whole call, not knowing what to say. I need an appointment. Yeah,
So I
just
that just a little bit later. I think it's that same.
That's what it is.
That same moment, but it's happening a little bit later in life than maybe when it happened for you.
Good point.
Are some of the things that I did a little bit younger than them, they're doing at 16, 17. But then there's a lot of things that they do that I'm like, I was in my mid-20s before I was doing stuff like that.
That makes sense, actually. Now that you brought that to light, that's what I'm noticing. But anyway, so there you have it. They're starting later, like 24, 25 versus 15 to 18 or 15 to 20. It's a 5-year difference.
Adventures and the way that they hang out with their friends and the way they talk, were things that I didn't start doing until like after I graduated college. But then the responsibility pieces of being able to fill out paperwork or make phone calls and stuff, that's happening. It's like there was that swap of experience and maturity, and now maturity is coming later, and the experiences of just like life and adventure are coming earlier.
Gosh, well, I had it all young. I had a lot of experiences before I was even 18. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
So
because
that
when I hit 21, I'm like, oh, no more drinking. Cool. So yeah, that probably says a lot about me. But yeah, no.
that was a fun little journey. But yeah, my body, it feels different at almost 39 than it did at the beginning of 38. And I don't think we talk about it because like it's
Well, 'cause
weird.
nobody wants to admit that they're
It's
getting
weird.
older and that your body's kind of breaking down, and you don't know, like, you're unsure of,
Like some
what
days
do I do? What
oh,
steps can I take? But you're doing all the right things, honestly. Doing that first warm up, getting going in the morning before you even step out of your bed, that's huge. Like, that is so huge. Instead of waiting till 11 in the afternoon to do it, that's big. And after your workout, doing some more mobility stretches is going to be huge. It goes a long way,
yeah. Oh, for our listeners, if you're listening and you have something to say on this topic of like, how's your body? What's changing? Like, what are you experienced? Please let us know in the comments below, wherever it is that you're listening to. And if you just want to feel, if you're listening to us like on a podcast, like Spotify, or Apple, and you just ever want to feel like you're just sitting here chatting with us, like you're in the room, make sure you head over to YouTube. We stream this, we upload the live video, and so that you can just feel like you're sitting on the couch with us, because that's what this is all about. We're all in this together.
Amen.
Chelsea, my body is feeling a whole lot different. And the other night, like Jeffrey usually jokes with me, like, oh, you're turning into your mom, which in a lot of ways, yes. But the other night, for the first time, I was like, I feel like my mom. like I
I've been there.
feel like I'm complaining about the same things that she's complaining about. And my mom just found out that her hips the bones in her hips have degenerated so bad that they don't even think hip surgery, like a replacement, because there's nothing to anchor into. And so here I am with this hip pain, and I'm like, are my bones turning to dust? Like, and so and because I'm young and because I'm healthy and because of all these things, and there's no big medical reason for it, no one wants to prescribe me the MRIs and stuff to go look at it because it's preventative and not required. And I'm like, what BS is this?
So what you can do in that sense is just call up. Oh, you still have to have a freaking I don't think you can just walk in. Go to a chiropractor. Go to a chiropractor that can refer and just say, hey, I've been having pain in my hip. I want to get it looked at. They'll refer you out.
Excellent.
They'll refer you out, and you got to go to somebody who will refer you out. The MD, yeah, it's true. I don't know if I don't work for MD, so I won't know, but we do that all the time, because even young kids, or, I call them kids now because that's the age I'm getting to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, here I am. The 20-year-olds are now kids to me. Oh, great. How did I get here? But anyway, so, because sometimes you get a severe injury, like from working out, or it doesn't always have to be, oh, you're old, you're 60 and above now, like we have to do it now, like it's protocol. We have injuries all the time, working out, car accidents, you name it, like anyway, so that's what I would suggest. Maybe go to a chiropractor and see if they'll refer you for an MRI of the hip.
I'll do that. Yeah. We could do I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, because we could do a whole podcast on proactive versus reactive healthcare.
Amen. And we should, actually, honestly, we really should, because it's so important.
Someone in that field as well to bring in.
We will.
That would be actually really beneficial.
We will. I have somebody in mind, actually. So that's fantastic. Yeah, I have 2 people in mind actually. So yeah, we'll bring them on for sure. We'll bring them one at a time and get two different perspectives and insights on what to do to keep us feeling young as we're getting old.
Yes. All right. Well, that wraps up Two Humans Talking. Please share this with a friend. Be sure to let them know why you're sharing, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.